got my buddies Luther and Anders here. I'm going to take a little trip down memory lane as we get ready to premiere a video we've been sitting on for the past 5 years here and think back about all this stuff. But real quick, I'm going to play a little game here that I like to do sometimes. If I'm ever feeling down or need a little pick me up, I'll go into the YouTube comments section of some of the better videos of what I know. It's surprising, right? Like, you want to go read internet comments to cheer yourself up. It doesn't seem like something you'd want to do, but all these videos that we did 5 years ago, all the performances are so great, and Jake did such a good job editing them. Like, people say the nicest stuff in the world in them. So I'm just pulling up the YouTube page for y'all's Black Muddy River, and if I could like this song every time I listen to it, I would. Damn, I don't know whether to smile or cry. Anders' voice is perfect for that song. That was fantastic. So simple and stripped down. Loved every bit of it. This is so good on so many points. Luther's slide is absolutely magical, and Anders really nails the emotion of this tremendous tune. It goes on, and it does it for like all the videos we did. It's like the nicest stuff. So if you ever are bummed that your air conditioning has broken, Mr. Osborne, and you need a nice pick-me-up, I recommend the YouTube comment section of videos like this on JamBase, because people say the nicest stuff, man.
Love it.
That's such a nice counterbalance to all the other YouTube.
Yeah, it's not what you would expect. You don't normally tell people to go into the comments section. That's what you don't want to do. Oh yeah, but yeah, man, it's just all the videos, and your guys is one of our favorites. So yeah, check out the comments sometime. But yeah, so you guys were in our office 5 years ago. It was when you were on tour with N.M.O, right? When you guys were playing the Fillmore. It was a simpler time when we could all go see shows at clubs and theaters. And yeah, I remember you guys were one of the first sessions we did. I always think it's the first one, but it's the first one that we published. But I think it was like probably the third or fourth session that we did. But we hadn't published any of them yet. And you guys hadn't told us what song you were doing yet when you came in. And when you came in, you were like, yeah, I think probably gonna do Bertha, either Bertha or Black Muddy River. And I was like, ooh, we should really do Black Muddy River instead of Bertha. It'd be so much better. No offense to Bertha, great tune. And the Incidental Animals did it for this series, but we sort of like pushed you to do Black Muddy River instead, which I'm very, very thankful for that we did. And I just confirmed with Jake, we actually have oh, Anders, we lost your video here for a second, but that's cool.
Yeah, I got a phone call. Sorry about that.
All good. And I just confirmed with Jake, we're gonna include it in this video too. We have on camera, I like threw you a curveball right before the take, and I told you that Black Muddy River was the last song Jerry Garcia sang in front of a crowd before he died. And like the camera was rolling and you didn't know that. And like you got that news right before you had to perform the tune. And I was like, Jay, do we have that in the take? And he's like, yep, definitely. So we're gonna throw that video up inside this too, because we capture you processing that, and it's really good. And actually the last song Jerry ever sang lead on.
No way.
Yeah, because the encore of the last ever, his last show, the last show is Black Muddy River, Box and Rain.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. No pressure.
No.
Thanks, Brad.
And my other really great memory from that, I talked about this earlier in the week with Reed Mathis, and Luther actually has heard this recently from Scott Bernstein when they sat in Oakland and did the podcast. But the series, the whole video stuff was new to us at the time. And my default position at the time was to put all of our artists at ease and say things like, yeah, and if you need to stop and start over, you can, or if you want to like do multiple takes, you can. And you guys did it in one take. And we were all just hanging out after you were done for a little bit over in the JamBase kitchen. And Luther called me over. He was like, hey, it's like leaning up against the kitchen. And he was like, you gonna be doing a lot of these? And I was like, yeah, we need to do like 50 of them in the next 2 months. He was like, cool. Don't tell people they can stop and start over. Like, you don't want to tell them that. Like,
Yeah, it's
And
bad. It can be a bad snowball, where you get like 5, 10 incomplete takes,
Yep, and it was like one of the best pieces of advice we got when we were doing this, and it was like early on, and we didn't really know what we were doing. I mean, the video looks great from the first one that we did.
I learned it from my
Yeah, we
dad.
didn't know
It's
what we
one
were
of
doing.
those.
I treasure that advice, and we immediately like heeded it. It was like, all right, cool. Don't say that to artists. Imply that it's live. You know.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So anyway, the video that we're gonna publish is Annabel. Again, sort of stuff we were doing more towards the beginning of these sessions. We were being a lot nicer to artists and not ushering them out the door as quickly as possible so we could get to editing the video and publish it the next day. So we were like, hey, do you want to play something else? You want to play this? And you guys did Annabel, which is a really cool tune. Anders, can you tell me a little bit about that one?
Yeah, it's kind of a Laurel George inspired vibe, drop D. And I just wanted to do something contemplative. And the things that came out of it was kind of thinking about a couple of people that had been, been there for me when I was in my addiction, active addiction and stuff. And one of them was a friend of mine out in Colorado. Her name was Annabel, and she would kind of check in on me. It was a handful of people like that that would consistently touch base with me, whether I responded or not. But she was the one that ended up in the song. And she's a charming, charming, beautiful friend of mine, or ours. So that's kind of what it was just, thinking back at certain times, and it's not a lot more to it.
There's a really nice line in it about like how she always knows or something like that. I think that's sort of like if you're like screwing up or something.
Yeah, it was just, I guess it's a good question actually that you brought that up. Sometimes when you're messing up, as you know, you'll get a text from either your mom or a friend or somebody, you go, what the hell? How does she know? You know what I mean? And it was kind of one of those, like every time, she seemed to always know, not only where I was, because she'd been down the same road, but also like that I was messing up. So, yeah.
That's nice. I really like that long. We were talking before, Luther, you said you really liked this tune because you guys ended up recording it and something about like, it sort of like drove the direction of the record or something like that.
Well, yeah, Annabelle was the genesis for me of the idea of North Mississippi Osborne, like, because we were on Southern Soul Assembly and I heard a lot of Anders' material during those tours, but we were sitting on the back of the bus and Anders was playing Annabelle and I was like, man, it reminded me of a song that my dad would play. It reminded me of the type of groove that Cody and I grew up playing with our father. And I was like, man, I would love to play that song with Cody. The three of us, like we could get down on that. And then as the months rolled out on Southern Soul Assembly, just more songs that Anders came bringing up, and he just started compiling a list of songs that we wanted to do together with Cody. And then that ended up in being the North Mississippi Osborne record. But it was the song Annabelle that really, something about the groove, I was like, man, that. And the thing is, we haven't had anybody to play that type of grooves with, since our father passed. So I was like really excited. And once we got together, it was just like a glove,
Nice. That was a great tour and a great record. Cool, guys. Thanks for giving the color on that tune, both of you. That's great. Anders, are you you've done the go live on Facebook thing once so far? Is that right?
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people on there when I jumped in. It was in the high hundreds, pushing 1,000. When I looked, is there going to be more of that in your future?
Yeah, we usually I have like a pretty steady group of people that help me out, and I was blown away by the response. I think it had like close to 80,000 views, and we reached 140,000 people and 8,000 comments. And I was like, what the hell's going on? So we decided to, sorry, my battery thing here.
That's
I'm
okay.
just messing up left and right.
We'll wrap up here in a minute.
Yeah, to answer your question, it felt so good, and it was such a beautiful family kind of affair. It was also a good way to get some money in the tip jar from everybody. It was, you know, it was successful. People were super nice, and they paid kind of like a cover charge, you know.
Yep.
I guess the diehards. So we made some money off that. But I decided to not do it all the time and every week, but to rather spread it out every other week or something. And then it'll give me room to promote other people that lost Jazz Fest and stuff. So I've been trying to promote jewelry, like artisans locally here in New Orleans. And then next week I want to maybe bring up a couple of local artists that don't get a lot of attention to.
Yeah, and you can do that right on your own page there too. You can go live as Andrew Johnson. It doesn't need to be you in front of the camera.
Right. So basically what I'm trying to do is to spread it out a little bit and not pound it too hard.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because if we all do it at the same time. So, and I did that in the beginning too. I figured if I wait a couple of weeks before I start live streaming.
Yep.
But yeah, it was super, super fun and engaging. I read the comments a lot and kind of try to interact and make it more live.
And the world is upside down. We are all advocating for reading internet comments right now.
Yeah, I was told when me and Luther played with Phil Lesh, and I got bummed. A lot of people, or some people had made some comments or whatever I was reading. This mother, you know, all this stuff. And then Graham, his son, and Phil said, "Oh my God, you can't read that.
Right.
You can't never read that." And we're like, "Okay, I promise I won't." No. Just do your thing. I'm like, okay.
hard not to read if there's someone out there talking about you.
My favorite.
In the Grateful Dead scene, you know, they're so passionate about their music. And I'm like, I'm messing it up, man. I'm totally screwing this up. They're like, don't read that.
Passionate's one word for it.
Yeah.
My favorite
live, right? Anyway.
The all-time best from Phil was when we messed up the Allman Brothers tune. Was it Ramblin' Man or Blue Skies?
Yes! No, Ramblin' Man. Total quiet.
Short little clip of us screwing up. We don't even play the lick. And the whole name of the comment is "Told you so." The name of the clip.
We messed up so hard. We both of us forgot that lick. I was counting. I'm like, oh my God, and I froze, and Luther froze. So there's just a hole with no lick. You know that thing?
Oh yeah, boo da 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 da.
Told you so.
We both messed it up. Somebody's it's like cheering underneath.
Nice. I'm picturing like a fly ball in the outfield, and both outfielder thinks the other one has it, and it falls in the middle of the two.
Yeah, totally. And one comment said something like, "Larry Campbell forever."
Oh, who I heard has the coronavirus. So all healing vibes to Larry Campbell.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I'll let you get back to what you're doing around the house there in Nashville and New Orleans. Thanks for jumping on with me. I've been doing a few of these with people, and it always brightens my day. It's nice to chat to you folks and see you, and hope to see you in a club or a theater or an arena real soon.
Bless you, David. Bye, Luther. I love you.
Love you too. Take care.
Bye-bye.